Alright, in this short little video, I'm going to show you how to write a CSVY conveniently. Now, why would you do this in the first place, since I just showed you that it's possible to write it in by hand? Well, sometimes you have, for example, so many columns that it would be very tedious to write out their names every single time. Or perhaps you have some really complicated attribute that you want to automatically add to the file. Or in general, perhaps you just want to make this as reproducible as possible. So in all of those cases, you can choose to write your CSVY directly from R. So I will show you just a quick introduction to how you might do something like that and what the relative advantages of it are. So I'm going to start with gapminder write CSVY, write underscore CSVY, and then the name of gapminder, the object that I'm going to print, and then the file name. So I'm going to go file equals data gapminder meta.csvy, just to differentiate it from the other guy. Alright, it spits it out, and then it says, warning, appending column names to file. And if I open up, I see exactly what that means. So its default was to use the comments, just like before. We don't end up with anything like data set level, except this class, tibble.df, tibble and data frame. And that just referred to the actual object itself. It was stored as a data frame inside of R, so that gets printed out here. We also have the name, the class, just like we practiced doing before, but we also have levels. And look, it just goes on and on and on, naming every single country in the world. And then we have down here more normal variables, GDP per capita, numeric, class numeric. Notice it doesn't have title, it doesn't have description, because of course you need to add that to it already in R. So if it were me, in this situation, I would definitely just edit this file by hand, commit the changes, and read them back in with Reader. In a sense, that metadata is new data being collected. Now, I can show you how to do that, or at least here is one possibility. So we're going to start with gapminder. Let's change gapminder before we write it down so that we don't get that giant long list of countries. I'm going to change a column in gapminder. How am I going to do that? With mutate, of course. So I'm going to mutate gapminder. I'm going to call that was country. I'm going to use as character country. Now what does this do? You see factor here, continent is still a factor. Country is now just a character vector. CHR means character. I'm going to pipe that straight into write file equals data gapminder. I'm going to write over that file name so you can see how it changes. Remember that because gapminder is the first argument to write CSVY, this code executes in the exact same way because that pipe puts our new modified data frame directly in there. Alright, so let's look at how the file is different. If we scroll through it now, the YAML is suddenly much more compact because country just says that its class is character. It doesn't go on listing all those different levels. Why is that? Because remember how I was talking about as you read data in, you get an attribute. Well, any attributes that the data have also get written out. And factors have this attribute called levels, and it just lists the levels. So that's all that happened here. We can use this fact if we want to add information before we write. So here's something I'm going to do. I'm going to say gapminder actually, no, maybe I can even mutate. I'm going to modify country one more time. So how do I modify the attribute on an object? I can go like this. I'm going to call x is just the numbers 1 to 5, x 1 to 5. So this is a bit unusual looking perhaps, but we can do this with an R, I'm pretty sure. At ATTR, we're going to do it to country. What attribute are we going to change? We're going to change the description. And it's going to be name of the country. Now we can pipe that straight into read CSVY. Add some white space to make it easier to read. There we go. Now we can take a look back at country and see how it is different. Sure enough, there's our description field appeared.